Exoneration of one's soul and censure from the created are contradictory to servitude. Know, O Muslims, that a clear sign of a murid's ignorance of his nafs is his exculpation of its attributed qualities, be they praiseworthy or condemnable. For if he truly knew his nafs, he would know that the praiseworthy and reproachable qualities that are manifested in other sinner Muslims and even in the righteous servants of Allah from time to time appear and disappear within him. For a servant of Allah is like a firmament in which, like clouds of varying form, there float both meritorious and censurable qualities. That is, in man there is each and every quality in both these categories. Know that all the characteristics dispersed in creation, even the blameworthy, are present in every servant in the entirety and in their perfection, except in the prophets. Truly Almighty Allah cleansed their nature dispositions. As for all the righteous and ordinary Muslims alike, they have not attained completeness in natural purity. Verily, Almighty Allah prevents reproachable qualities from activating in them. So long as a true worshipper is embraced by the grace of the Almighty, all of the praiseworthy qualities are manifested and the reproachable ones are inactivated. But when the Almighty's grace falls away from a servant, then praiseworthy qualities will be thwarted and reproachable ones will be activated. And on seeing such a person, people will say, "O our Allah, deliver us from his evil." And, "O people, just look at how gloomy this person's face is." If a servant realizes this truth, he will not censure another of Allah's servants and will not show his discontentment for the destiny the Creator deals him. Sheikh Abdulaev al-Dashtuti recounted, "Once I scolded a man who did not fully observe a pose when bowing at the waist in prayer before prostration. And he responded, 'O my brother, I'm completely in the grip of Almighty Allah, and if He wills, He will also lengthen or shorten my pose in prayer. I look not at what is being moved, but on Him who moves.'" And then the Sheikh added, "Never condemn anything except that which destroys religion. You are a servant of that which occupies your heart." Ubudiyya means servitude and captivity. A person is a servant to that which prevails over him and preoccupies his heart. If a person is in the captivity of his nafs, then he is the servant of his nafs. And if he is in the captivity of the worldly, then he is a servant of the worldly. And there is no doubt that a murid whose worship is inextricably linked with the love for the worldly is merely the distracting his heart and exhausting his limbs. For such worship, even though it be abundant, is insignificant before Almighty Allah. It is like a body without a soul, only an appearance. Nowadays, most people engage themselves in the pursuit of the worldly and afterwards stands at night in worship. Therefore, if vigilant nights and abundant worship cannot progress the sons of the worldly closer to Allah, how about minimal worship done with love for the worldly and committing some sins? A monotheist believer devotes himself to only Almighty Allah, or to those loyalty to whom constitutes loyalty to the Creator. The merit of a worshipper is defined by whom or what he worships, just as the value of a knowledgeable person depends on the subject of his knowledge. Supplication is worship. The essence of servitude in its radiant quintessence is revealed in supplication, for it is precisely during prayer that a servant reveals the utmost degree of his powerlessness, his helplessness and destitution, awaiting the boundless mercy, generosity, an allotment from his Lord. As declared above, true servitude is the renunciation of any might and strength and the recognition of the Almighty in favors and gratitude. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Prayer is the brain of worship." Another version says, "Prayer is worship." That is, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, summarized worship and defined supplication as its essence. This is because the reality of worship is self-abasement and submissiveness, and it's obtained through supplication with the greatest possible and most explicit manifestation. Qualities which impede true worship. Note that the qualities that hinder a person from approaching Almighty Allah, even in namaz prayer, the daily prayers obligatory for every Muslim, are divided into 4 categories: divine, demonic, bestial, and predatory. Divine qualities are imitations of the attributes of Almighty Allah, the assumption of which by men in their entirety He forbade. To such qualities belong pursuit of glory, aspiring to supremacy, the lack of need for anyone or anything, the desire to have dominion over people, and the feeling of being superior to any other Muslim. Demonic qualities are taking after the qualities of Satan, such as envy, transgression, abundance of guilt and deception, treachery, hypocrisy, as well as an inclination towards people of innovation and deviation. Bestial qualities are gluttony and a strong desire to satisfy lust and amorousness, on account of which their possessors falls into the sins of adultery and theft. Predatory qualities are unjust anger and malevolence. Due to the presence of these qualities, a person is capable of committing a grave sin forbidden by Allah, the killing of another person, as well as the infliction of injuries and damage. A human soul is initially subjugated by bestial qualities. As he grows and his comprehension increases, predatory qualities also manifest themselves. Then, when his thoughts consolidate and he is not assisted by Allah, he starts to employ his mind in cunning and deceit and seeks the assistance of Satan, who then insinuates into him divine characteristics and will try with all his powers to prompt the wayward in his striving to acquire qualities innate only to Allah. He who adopts a single manner of the qualities of Satan will be ousted by Allah from His presence, and he who has been cast out from His presence will be overcome by his enemies, as if God is saying to Satan and its army, "You have no access to the people close to me, but have free hand over everyone who has left my presence." Allah said to Satan, "Go, and of whomsoever follows you, surely hell will be the recompense of you all, ample recompense, and entice with your seductive voice those of them whom you can, i.e. with songs, music, and any other call for Allah's disobedience. Make assaults on them with your cavalry and your infantry, and be a partner in their wealth and children, and make promises to them. But Satan promises them nothing but deceit." Surah Al-Isra, Ayah 63-64. There is a great thread in these words, for the meaning of the words of Almighty Allah, "be their partner in their wealth and children," is to encourage them to acquire possessions in a forbidden way and to spend them in illicit ways, and also to have children by engendering them in forbidden ways. The words "and make promises to them" mean making false promises. The Almighty further said, "But Satan promises them only that which is false," meaning that Satan embellishes the mistake by deceiving that it is proper. In a hadith, it is said that when Satan was cast down on earth, he asked, "O Lord, you cast me down on this earth and damned me and deprived me of your grace. And now where will my house be? The Almighty replied, your house is a latrine. Then Iblis asked, and where will I hold my gatherings? And Almighty Allah replied, in markets and places where people gather on the road. Iblis asked again, and what will I eat? The Almighty answered, all that over which the name of Almighty Allah is not mentioned. Then Iblis requested, make a drink for me. To that the Almighty said, all that makes one intoxicated. Iblis again requested, make me a muezzin. The Almighty said, flutes. Then Iblis asked again, make me a Quran. And the Almighty said, poetry. Iblis asked, and will I have my own writing? To this the Almighty replied, tattooing. Iblis continued, and can you make hadith for me? The Almighty said, falsehoods. And then Iblis asked, and will I have a messenger? Then Almighty said, soothsayers. Iblis asked, give me snares. To this the Almighty replied, women.